Hi there, this is Ranjit and welcome to the Tech Q&A session, July edition. So let's get on with this. A variety of questions that I have taken, about 17 of them. So let's answer them. And the first question I get is from Anirudh, and he's asking us, how are you? I'm doing good. I want to ask that, can't smartphone companies charge a bit more extra, like rupees 1000, he says, and give a cleaner software experience? Also, which is the best Wi-Fi fiber? Okay. Yes, I have made this point even earlier. You're talking about a lot of mid-range smartphones these days that come with a lot of bloatware. Xiaomi used to do it now. Samsung mid-range phones also have a lot of bloatware. Yes, I think so. If they are bundling this bloatware, they should have an option of ad-free option also with slightly more premium, let's say 10% more or 15. It might make sense. But looks like that will simply not happen because these OEMs are making a lot more money, looks like that, with these bloatwares and stuff. That's why even Xiaomi, if you look at it, their bloatware free smartphone was the Mi A series with Android One. They have just simply killed that off. So sadly, I don't think so that should happen. But in the realistic, idealistic world, yes. They should have had two versions. One is with the regular ads or whatever, with very aggressive pricing, and another option who those people who don't want the ads and stuff but feel the hardware is very good, play slightly better. But I don't think so that's going to happen. Now that Samsung mid-range phone also filled with bloatware. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is by Jairam. He says, Qualcomm has confirmed 4 years of updates for its insider phones. Does this mean all OEM phones with Qualcomm SoC will receive 4 years of update? Should MediaTek be worried about this, as customers with MediaTek phone might receive the same for 3 or 4 years? What are your thoughts? Jairam, this is just an insider phone thing with Qualcomm. So Qualcomm is indirectly saying that our chipsets will be supported for 4 years, but that does not mean every OEM will give Android updates for 4 years. Again, remember, it depends from brand to brand. Giving these updates regularly does cost the OEM quite a bit, and most of the OEMs want you as a consumer to upgrade to a newer phone. So I don't think so. Most of the OEMs, though the chipset will be supported for the next couple of years, will provide Android updates for 4 years. That's simply not going to happen. Yes, you might see it with slightly premium end devices, but not in the mid-range, in the budget range. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is by Preetam. According to several reports, the most 5G bands in the world is the N78. Do you think it's necessary to have bands other than that too? And also, what are your thoughts on buying a phone with just one 5G band? Oh my God. Yes, N78 is a popular one, but do remember that N78 is not just the only band. For example, in India, yes, some of the providers might use the N78, but there is a lot of speculation that the N41 and 42 will also be used with some providers. And even in the lower range, one more band might be used when 5G rolls out in India. So it's just stupid to have just one band of 5G and calling it a 5G phone. I don't know why you guys are getting brainwashed with OnePlus propaganda, guys. Open your eyes. If it was the case, why would Samsung, Oppo, Realme, others actually add 5G bands on their smartphones? Even Oppo, some of the Oppo smartphones have 7 or 11 bands of 5G. So it's just a cost-cutting measure that OnePlus is shoving on us and doing that marketing propaganda. Open your eyes, guys. So I would say yes, it's still stupid to buy one 5G smartphones with just one band of 5G. Mark my words, guys, by next year the OnePlus smartphones that will be launching in India with 5G will definitely have way more bands than the N78. Open your eyes. Just don't fall for the marketing propaganda that these brands keep on doing. Okay, anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Jagdish. What is virtual RAM in smartphone? Is it of any use, or is it gimmick like a 2 megapixel camera? It is, I would say, technically, yes, the virtual RAM works. For example, if you have used a Windows computer with lower RAM, earlier you used to get with just a limited 4 gigabytes of RAM or something. So, and the computer used to use the hard drive as virtual RAM. That is the same thing that these smartphones are also doing. And I would say it is sort of a gimmick, because this virtual RAM will generally help in smartphones that have very low RAM, that is like 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM. But you're seeing using this virtual RAM thing only in smartphones that are having RAM higher than 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, where it simply does not make any sense. So again, I would say this is the new, because every smartphone manufacturer is, now wants to give something new. So this is the new mantra, that virtual RAM. Strictly, I would say it does not matter, because again, it uses the storage of your smartphone that is generally in this price range, UFS 2.1, and that is simply not as fast as the RAM. So yes, this is the new sort of gimmick feature, just one more extra feature to entice users, I would say. Anyways, let's move to the next one. Nishant, your thoughts on Realme X7 Max? Do you recommend it? Kindly don't ignore my questions. I have already covered the Realme X7 Max. This comes with the Dimensity 1200 SoC, and for the price, if I recall, it was 27 or 28,000. I don't recall. Check out my old videos. It is actually a very good value smartphone, and trust me, guys, it comes with the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 SoC, which is the flagship SoC by MediaTek. There will be some new smartphones also launching with the Dimensity 1200 SoC, and they will be priced significantly higher. I'm expecting about 35 to 40,000. So yes, for the price point and the overall package, the Realme X7 Max is a pretty good smartphone. You will be surprised some of the new smartphones that will be coming with the Dimensity 1200, how high they will be priced now, because it's a fabulous chipset overall, I would say. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Paris. He's asking, please explain Samsung India's situation in the mid-range market. Why can't they launch one good smartphone below 25,000? Every phone has an issue in the Samsung mid-range. There's one more question very similar to that, so I'll also take that and answer both the questions. This is by Bhavesh. He's asking, your comments on Samsung Mobile just flooding the Indian market with just average upgrade phones to take advantage of being a non-Chinese phone manufacturer. Yes, I completely agree with you. This year, if we specifically look at the mid-range smartphones from Samsung, earlier, I would say till last year, their M series smartphones used to be pretty good. But the last couple of months of the M series smartphones that were launched, what rubbish. Seriously, M32 with G80, 6GB priced at 17,000. Seriously? Some of the even A series, A21, A22 with rubbish processors priced at 22,000. So yes, I think so this year Samsung's mid-range smartphones, even the M series, which used to be actually pretty good. Most of the M series smartphones earlier used to be pretty good, but now I think so they have lost it. I just hope the M51 that was launched last year was good. I just hope they don't screw up royally with the M52. I hope Samsung comes back to their senses. The only decent smartphone around the 25,000 price point from Samsung that I can personally recommend is the Samsung Galaxy A52. Yes, it was for 26,000, but with offers, if you apply those offers and stuff, it comes down to slightly below 25,000. That is the only good, decent smartphone I would say from Samsung. And Samsung really needs to now come back and fix their M series. They built some good M series smartphone, but some of the launches are total rubbish, I would say. That's the reason I didn't even bother. I just watched my unboxing video M32. What is that situation? What is the idiotic setup that we have to do? So that is the case these days. So I don't know what Samsung India is doing. They really need to come back and not completely ruin the M series. I just hope they don't screw up the M52. I hope that will be launched and that will be with decent specs at a decent price. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Mohit. For which phone are you really excited this year? Because all are same and getting bored in unboxing video. We know the suspense. I would say yes, this year was not that exciting. Personally, I would say I am looking forward to the new Pixel 6 or the Pixel 6 Pro. But I'm also looking forward to the mid-range Pixel 5a that is expected to be launched next month, expected to be announced next month, and I'm hoping that will launch even in India. I think so that will be an important phone specifically for India, but I really hope Google is a little bit aggressive this time in the pricing. If they price it around that 30,000 price point, we know that's going to be a mid-range spec. I don't think so that will make an impact, but if they can price it well, that can make quite a bit of impact, I would say. So let's see. On the premium side, yes, I'm looking at the Pixel 6. And also, this is rumor, there's a big rumor that Google Pixel series will also be releasing a foldable smartphone finally. So I'm also looking at that. Let's see if we get it. I don't know how practical and it'll be, but I'm looking forward to that one. This is by Sahil. Does number of 5G bands depend on the processor in the smartphone? Example, Snapdragon 778 G has 2 bands. I think so you're meaning 768 has 2 bands of 5G on the iQOO Z3. iQOO Z3, I have it. I've been testing. We'll be posting the full review. It's a 768. And Dimensity 700 have 5 bands of on Realme Narzo 35G. Sahil, no, you're completely wrong. The chipsets, both of the Snapdragon 768 and the Dimensity 700, 800, offer a lot more 5G bands, about 12 or 15 5G bands. But it's the OEMs that chose to implement only 1 or 2 bands of 5G, because it does cost them hardware if they want to implement all the 5G bands. They have to put that many multiple radio hardware, and they don't do that to cut down the cost. So it's not the chipset. The chipset is supporting all those 12 or 15 bands of 5G, but these OEM choose only 1 or 2 bands, or let's say 3 bands of 5G, because it does cost them if they want to enable all of them. For example, in this price range around 20,000, the only smartphone that I would say that offers a lot of bands of 5G is the Moto G 5G. I forgot how many bands. It was 11 or 12 bands of 5G. So it's pure cost cutting, I would say. So this is by Justin. Should Google step in and strictly ask OEMs to provide custom skins that doesn't hinder with the stock Android experience, and only provides useful customization options rather than the heavy buggy custom UI? And if they don't follow, can Google stop and Android services to the OEM? Justin, it's a very noble thing that you're doing, and technically, yes, it should be like this. I even made a video about this just last week, the sad state of Android in India. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's an eye-opener. But I don't think so this is going to happen, because Google can just give suggestions to these OEMs not to do this, not to do that. The whole thing about Android is that open ecosystem. You can use your Google Android from Google and customize it as you like. So that's the openness of Android. So I don't think so the Google can dictate terms, but Google, I think so, needs to put some restrictions. Okay, man, this is just going out of bounds. So let's see what happens. So it's the OEMs, and I think so we as users also need to complain to these OEMs. Enough is enough. Adding bloatware with OT updates. What is that? What rubbish is that? So it's become really bad. Just watch that video if you haven't watched it. This is by Alan. He's asking, what's your point on the mid-range smartphone getting pricier? Does it really make sense in this economy? And what might be the actual reason? Alan, there are multiple factors due to which the pricing of the Android mid-range smartphones has increased drastically now in India. I would say the best time period for mid-range Android smartphones was in 2019, if you recall, just prior to this pandemic. And there, I would say there was a lot of competition between OEMs. For example, if you recall, there was an indirect fight between Xiaomi Redmi series and Realme. They used to really fight in terms of specs. And because of that, we saw some very good hardware at a very good price point. Even Samsung, if you recall, became pretty aggressive with the M series. But due to this pandemic in 2020, and also Indian government, if you recall, increased the rate on GST. Earlier, phones used to be taxed at 12% GST. They increased it to 18% GST, and we know after this COVID situation what happened. So the logistic issues also happened, the GST thing also has happened, and also because of the COVID, this chip shortage supply, if you are seeing now, it is also affecting the smartphone. That also has happened. So all these things have happened one over the other, and now I think in the mid-range smartphone market, these OEMs are actually not that aggressively competing with each other. If you even look at Realme now, Realme used to be very, very aggressive in the mid-range smartphone market, but now if you look at their range, they're not that aggressive. So I think so the competition aggressiveness also has been lowered, and because of that, all are increasing pricing. And Samsung, you know, in the new M series, what I just mentioned about it, the hardly being competitive. So these are the reasons now we are seeing an increase in smartphone prices, and I don't think so sadly this is going to reduce now. So that animal spirit that we had in 2019 is simply lost between OEMs, and we as consumers are suffering. I always say that fierce competition is very healthy. When you don't have that, this is the thing that we happen, and it's just not that. It's a combination of a lot of things. That's why we are seeing the increase in mid-range smartphone pricing now. Now a good mid-range smartphone, you are hovering around the 18 to 20,000 price point. Earlier, you could get that in about 14 to 15,000. That's a fact. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Parekh. He's asking, which is better to go, a OLED TV or a QLED TV? Also, what are your thoughts, view about the smart TV market in India? Now, almost every new smartphone, smart TV, TV that you're buying is actually a smart TV. So I think so that's not an issue. But between QLED and OLED, I can give you, because we in a family actually have both, and I'll give you a very personal opinion. What do I feel about it? I would say I would go, still I would say, in terms of pure picture quality, when I'm watching movies, I prefer an OLED TV. But is it practical? The thing with OLED TV is that you have to be a little bit careful. I have a LG OLED TV. It's almost 2.5 years old. I don't have any issues of burn-in or anything, but there is always that thing of burn-in. So if you're not that tech savvy, in your family, your parents, etc., just watching one news channel where one logo is there for hours and hours, that can be an issue on OLED TV. That's not an issue with the QLED TV. So I would say, if I'm buying a TV, I'm tech savvy, I mostly watch it personally for myself, then I will opt for a OLED TV, because I know how to use it, not use a same static image as a news channel for 3-4 hours continuously. Though I'll go with the OLED TV. But if I'm just getting it for my family, it's going to be put it in my drawing room where everybody will use it, and I can't control what they are watching, then I feel I'll be safer with the QLED TV, because it does not have any burn-in issues or like that. That's my frank personal opinion. I would say, if I'm putting it in my den where I will be using it mostly, I will go with the OLED. But if I'm putting a TV in my living room where entire family will be using it, abusing it, whatever, then I will stick with the QLED, because it's just safer. That's my frank opinion, guys. Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Sharat. He's asking, OnePlus was the only manufacturer who used to provide an ad-free software experience. But do you think due to the merger with Oppo, that situation might change with the upcoming smartphones? Sharat, you're slightly wrong. It's not just OnePlus. If you buy Motorola smartphones, Nokia, or even Google Pixel smartphones, these are very clean stock Android, no ads and stuff. But yes, OnePlus still is pretty clean. But yes, there is a merger now with Oppo. So let's see what happens. I don't think so they will introduce ads in OnePlus Oxygen OS, because that is the only biggest strength that is left with OnePlus right now. And if they botch that up, I think so people will submit. So it will be stupid if OnePlus does that, adding ads in Oxygen OS. So I don't think so that will happen, but we don't know. Let's see what happens with this merger and how things change, because things are changing considerably if you see this year with OnePlus. This is by Rahul. He's asking, hey Ranjit, today in the market, a lot of smartphones and companies are available. I would like to ask you about a reliable company and a full-fledged phone which can work for almost 5 years without an issue. So which Android phone do you suggest? Next 5 years with an Android smartphone, I'll be very blunt. No, I don't think so. Anything that I can recommend will last you without any issues for 5 years. It's too long. Yes, 3 years to max to about 4 years. Okay, that way I would say Samsung is okay now, and Google Pixel smartphones, Samsung is committing for almost 3 years of Android updates, and Pixel smartphones are also okay. So 3 years is realistic, I would say. If you really want a smartphone and you want to use it for the next 5 years, then you have to go with an iPhone, guy. I'll be very blunt about it. They age a lot better, and Apple is a lot better in terms of update and supporting their older phones. So that's my frank opinion, I would say. This is by Puppy Bhai. He's asking, how's your Galaxy Fold holding up? Do you see increased screen crease after long-term usage? Also, will extensive gaming have an impact on the folding phone? This is my Galaxy Fold 2. I would frankly say I don't do any gaming on this one. And if you're getting the Fold for gaming, it's a wrong choice, I would say. Don't get this phone for gaming. It's not like you cannot do gaming, but I will not suggest gaming on this. Regarding the crease, no issues. It's the same. There is a slight crease, you'll notice it, but I haven't seen that it's increasing or anything. It's been working very fine. I was never bothered about the crease and all this thing, because I even had the Fold 1. So that was not a thing. The only thing I was worried about is the hinge on this one. And luckily the hinge is still very, very smooth. So yes, in terms of aging, it has aged well, I would say. And still the hinge mechanism is holding it, and it can stay in any position I want. So I'm impressed with what Samsung did on the hinge compared to the Fold 1, where the hinge became actually pretty floppy after about 6 months. That's not the case on the Fold 2. But, but the Fold 3 might be coming out soon. So I would say wait and see. Why do you want to buy the Fold 2 now? Anyways, let's move to the next one. This is by Harish. He says, seeing the ads and bloatware in mid-range smartphones, I get discouraged to buy the same. Only Google phones left with clean layout except OnePlus. Can we expect the Pixel 5G in India? Yes, this is the sad state about ads and bloatwares on mid-range smartphones. Again, watch the video that I posted. Sad state of Android in India. I'll leave the link in the description. Yes, sir. The Pixel 5A is expected to come in India. It's going to be launched next month in August, and there are very, very strong news that it will also be launching in India. So let's see what they do in India. Will they release the 5G edition or not? Let's see what they do. And I'm also keeping my fingers crossed for the Pixel 5A pricing in India. I just hope Google prices it decently in India. Anyways, guys, that's it for now for this Q&A session. We'll also try to do another QA by the end of this one. So again, stay tuned to my channel. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.